Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, everybody. I'm going to be continuing on today in the Palace of Twilight. After I've taken a good, I think, almost week long break from this game, hopefully my playing will be a little bit better. And we really shouldn't be in here for too much longer, so we are almost done. Before we move forward, we're going to do a little bit of backtracking and grab these two chests that were in this room here. I do believe that you actually need the light sword to do this, but you can correct me if I'm wrong on that because I'm not sure. I've always just come back and do this, or I've always come back to do this after I've gotten the light sword, just because I don't have to deal with the hand trying to chase me if I come back with the light sword. So if you go ahead and you get rid of the darkness, and I completely failed at that. Get rid of the darkness, you will get these platforms that come out of the floor. I guess they kind of like respond to your light sword. And then you can go up onto the wall where there's going to be two chests on that side. There is a chest with 50 rupees, and then over on that side you'll see there is a larger chest. So I'm going to try to land over here where there's not shadow, which I didn't manage to do. I was trying to avoid getting transformed into wolf link. It's kind of a bummer because it's like anytime you touch even the tiniest little speckle of this stuff, you get turned into a wolf, which is kind of a bummer. But anyways, get rid of that. Easiest to get rid of the shadow if you do a spin attack, by the way. And then of course the big treasure that we want to get in this area is the piece of heart, which makes another heart container, and that is actually our very, very, very last actual individual piece of heart. So, yay for us! We are done with all of that fun collecting stuff. So now we've just got one more heart container to collect, and then we will have all 20 hearts in the game, and that will be almost all of our completion done and out of the way. Now, if I would not suck royally at platforming, that would be amazing, because I need to jump to that center platform with the two little light balls. Thank you, right here. In order to get back, this is the only way to get back to the room that you came from, because the one that's below you doesn't go far enough, and it's not high enough either, so this one takes you right to the exit, which is awesome. So that's all for here, we're done. And now that that's done, we shouldn't have to do any more backtracking, and we can just continue forward and see what else this light sword can do. The light sword, by the way, can take out any shadow enemy in one hit. With the exception of our temple boss, of course. That would be cheap and no fun. But any of the plants or keys, or even the shadow beasts that come out usually when you were wolf-like, those can be taken out in one hit, which is extremely helpful. It makes them so much less of a nuisance to deal with. So you can see here I can just hammer through those enemies no problem. They are no longer any sort of a challenge to me whatsoever. Do a spin attack here, get rid of all of that fog, and let's move forward to unexplored areas. Not a whole lot of anything particularly new in this area, of course. Now they're just going to be utilizing a lot of the light sword and its usage, so. In this area here, if you want to, you can get rid of all this fog by doing a spin attack, which gets rid of it for the longest. The fog does eventually return, but using the spin attack is the best way to get rid of it for like a really, really long period of time. So what I would do if I redo it, I would get rid of all of the fog first, of course, by using the spin attack, and then if you'd like, you can take care of these individual enemies. I like to take care of them first before I go too crazy and go into the fog and try to put the soul on the plate, because I find then they just get in my way, which is pretty much, I would believe, what the Keys' purpose is, and all those little floor crawly type enemies. I don't really know what they're called, but all like the little enemies in this area are just kind of just really here for annoyance more than anything else, honestly. Yeah, those stupid bugs or whatever, but you can also destroy them as Wolf Link if you want. So here, luckily there's only one little switch to hit, and there's going to be a lot of platforms, so there's a lot of slow movement in the rest of this dungeon. A lot of people really like this dungeon. I like the look and the concept, and I really, really like that it gives more to Midna's story, and, you know, it kind of really focuses on the Twilight Realm, because it's such a big deal in this game. It is such a premise for the story, and you don't really get much about it until the very end of the game, so I really like that. But this place is kind of a pain in the arse to go through. And all of the floating Zant heads get really repetitive after a while. And I just kind of feel they could have done more with this area, but anywho. That is just my 2-bit opinion on this dungeon. So go ahead, use spin attack to light all 3 of those at once. Of course, you have to light all 3 of them at once to make them appear. And then this will get you out of the area, so... Of course, you need to defeat all the floating Zant heads to get the small key, which will unlock this door. Can't ignore those Zant heads, God forbid. And then we come out to another large and open room. So let's take care of enemies in here. There's going to be some floating Zant heads. I do believe one appears over on that platform first. You can see I just took out that Shadow Beast in one hit, no problem. There's also a lot of these bird enemies that are, again, just here for annoyance. I mean, what purpose do they serve other than to be a complete and utter pain in my ass? I don't know. But I take care of them first when I get here, just because what I have to do is come over here, stand in the middle, do your spin attack, and light up this little platform to be able to go over to that area there. So if you get rid of the birds first, then you don't have to worry about them when you get on the platform, and you could just have a nice little safe ride over. The only purpose coming over here serves is to get rid of this floating Zant head. I know, completely and utterly pointless, but it has to be done. Of course, we're going to need another small key in this room, surprise, surprise. I do believe that has to be done first. Like I said, there's going to be a couple of Zant heads. There's that one there, and then as you can see, a whole bunch of them have just spawned. And in my experience, they do not spawn until you get rid of the one that's over there, kind of on its lonesome. So I just do that first, get it out of the way, make it less of a nuisance for myself, and then I get rid of all these floating Zant heads. Should be a couple more around here. There's one over here. I think there's usually always like 6 in total. 6 or 8 it seems like. And there's gotta be one more. Where are you? Floating Zant head. Oh, no, 2 more. There we go. I was gonna say, I'm waiting for you. I don't have all day. I'm sitting in perpetual twilight. It would be very nice to get back to my own wonderful world of daylight and human life and flowers and sunshine and all that good stuff. So of course we need a small key for the next door. However, there is one more important treasure that we have to get in this room. Stand near the edge of this area, unleash a spin attack, and then you need to quickly jump over this gap. Because this area is going to have our boss key in it. So take out your double claw shots, and we're going to basically claw shot up this wall. And this is really cool because this is actually like a waterfall of, I guess, blackness or shadows or smog or whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of cool. It kind of follows that Zelda tradition of having an item behind a waterfall. It kind of seems like a lot of Zelda games and games in general do that. But yeah, our boss key is actually behind this big Twilight-ish kind of waterfall, which is really, really cool. So I'm just gonna hop down, just because I think that if I tried to fall down, I would just end up ending or falling into that big crack, so I'm not gonna waste time with that. I'll just vault my way down and continue onwards from here. Hopefully there's not much left of this place. Seeing as how we got our boss key, that usually indicates that we're getting pretty close. Alright. More shadow, of course. And this is going to be a lot more platforming type things. So there's going to be a bunch of shadow beings that drop from the wall. If you stand in the right spot, you can take care of them all at once, which is really cool with the lights door, just like I did. They kind of appear to kind of fall out of the sky, like right where this platform is. So, pro tip. Alright. Let's get rid of all this smog, and let's hit all these switches. And ride on up. You want to face, I guess, north, towards the door you just came out of. Go to the northern platform. The other three don't go anywhere. There's going to be one on the right. You'll want to ride up on the right one. And you're basically just going to be riding up to the very, very top of this room. It's really, really high. I wish I would have gotten a camera angle before I started climbing. But yeah, it's very, very high. There's lots of platforms, lots of claw shot targets. And it's basically a process of elimination. If one platform doesn't work, then try another. And that is pretty much what you do if things are not going the way you want them to. So here we're going to have some nice, wonderful, and exciting floating Zant heads. Oh, they shouldn't have put floating Zant heads. I never would have expected that. So of course we need to destroy some Zant heads in this room. First one's going to be over here on this side, and then another Zant head is going to appear up there. So from this platform, what you're going to want to do is claw shot onto the platform as it comes around, and then very, very slowly make your way over to that Zant head. So you have to be really careful with these sections, just because you can fall off very, very easily, and you can lose your way, and you'll have to climb all the way back up, and it's very frustrating. So my only recommendation is to really take your time. If you need to take a hit from that pink fireball thing from the Zant head, it doesn't actually knock you back, so it's much better to take damage than it is to try to dodge out of the way and fall. So anyways, luckily there's only those two Zant heads, and then we are able to get our small key, so that one isn't as painful. And then the game is nice enough to supply us with this little platform, which will actually take us right to where we need to go. So, not as painful as it looks, but if I can get a nice view without falling, you can see this is the top of the room and that's the bottom. So you actually do climb quite a ways up. So, alrighty, let's move on forward. And we are actually done in this area. This is the final room. There's going to be a lot of shadow beings in this room, so I recommend either being wolf-link for this or just kind of keeping your light sword at really, really close and at bay. Whatever it is that you prefer. The light sword's kind of cool. I like to use it. I mean, why not? This is like the only temple where you actually really utilize it and you can see its full potential and strength. I think it's really quite cool. So what I like to do is just kind of sit here in the middle of this room, wait for the shadow beasts to fall, and then I just kill them. Really awesome that they can be killed in one hit. Very, very useful. They also kind of come close to you in like packs, so they're very, very easy to defeat. They weren't really doing the smart thing. They don't really travel like spread out. So anyways, couple waves of harmless shadow beasts aren't too much to take care of. Let's scoop up this fairy, just in case we need it. We do have that empty bottle. And that's it. We are done. If I take a look at the map, we managed to get every single treasure. Like I said, we got all the heart pieces. We only need one more heart container. And yeah, the game's really coming to a close now, so awesome stuff. Next video, we will go through our boss door and see what awaits us at the end of the Palace of Twilight. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope that I will see you next time.